Tell the pussy we not laugh, fuck we not TED talk. Violate people at the dark. You should have keep it. Oh, hello there. I didn't see you. Welcome. I am your host, Bad Guy, and thanks once again for joining me for another episode of Read With Me and another new title, people. Confessions of a Sex Blogger. And today's reading is, it may be your ultimate fantasy, but here are the pitfalls of hotel sex from Metro's friendly neighborhood shagger, Elmara Abgarian. And if you've forgotten who Elmara was, here's a quick flashback. You see, he wasn't the first of them I've shagged, so she's just going around shagging neighbors. She's a neighbor shagger. She is a serial neighbor shagger. Elmara, I just love reading your articles. Lady, my lady, we will anoint you, we will put you on a pedestal for the world to see. I think we shall make you famous, my lady. People, we will respect Elmara's name and respect the name shall have. Let's begin the reading. Bang, bang, bang. Waking with a start from a deep sleep, I stumble out of bed wearing nothing but a sheet to find out who is responsible for this incessant knocking at my hotel room door. Opening it, my mouth falls to the floor as I see two men standing outside. One of them is the receptionist who checked me in that evening, and the other, I realize, is my one night stand. Oh mother, you just shagging them all, aren't you? Like me, he is not dressed and is trying and failing to cover his modesty with a small white towel. Excuse me, madame, is this man a guest of yours? Demands the receptionist as my brain struggles to catch up. Seconds later, the penny drops as I realize that my lover has managed to lock himself out of our room. It's just one of the many incidences of hotel sex, both good and bad, that prove to me that while it is understandably one of the top fantasies for men and women, the pitfalls are potentially enormous and embarrassing. Elmara, hotel sex is no top fantasy for men and women. Elmara, I've been taking bitches to the hotel and chopping them down like a martial arts movie for years. No Bruce Lee. On this occasion, a few years ago, I'd been on a trip to Edinburgh with a friend, and in order to save cost, we opted to share a room. But then we both got lucky at the bar. It's getting spicy. She selflessly offered to go back to the flat of the man she poured, so I took my Scottish lover back for some raunchy hotel sex, which was indeed amazing. The aftermath, much less so. The receptionist politely explained that my conquest had been spotted on the security camera wandering the hall stark naked, and when approached by staff had told them he couldn't remember which room was his. Oh mother, it sounds like you shag a Scottish dummy. Anyway, thankfully, the receptionist took the whole thing on the chin, accepted my apology, and bid us a good night. And while I can laugh about this now, I was mortified at the time. Hotel sex is a very common fantasy. In fact, a poll of 2,000 Brits found that participants will book a weekend away up to 4 times a year to spice up their sex lives. Of course, Amara, that's what hotels are there for, to take your woman and shag them there in peace. I can't say I blame any of them. Crisp sheets, a minibar, and a sense of adventure. It's completely understandable why people turn this fantasy into reality, and I have done so too on more than one occasion. We know, Amara, we know. A few years ago, I found myself on a trip by the coast. I was single at the time, but I had been talking to a man on Tinder for a few months. She's been Tindering people. We lived on opposite sides of the country, meaning any hopes of serious romance were doomed from the start. But we really enjoyed our conversations, including occasional phone sex. And so we kept in touch. Oh, Mara, you've been flapping your fanny on FaceTime, have we? By a stroke of luck, he just happened to be working an hour away from where I was staying on my solo holiday, and so we decided to meet up. We actually planned to have dinner first, but after months of virtual foreplay, we couldn't keep our hands off each other. And well, you can imagine what happened next. Yes, Amara, you shagged him. We know you are a serial shagger, neighbor shagger. It was hotel sex at its finest. Raw. We didn't use a condom, did we, Amara? Passionate. He just wanted to bust his juice and go. And made over more exciting by the location. He didn't want to get caught. Unfortunately, this was the first and last time I saw this man. The logistics of maintaining something long-term was too difficult, but it was certainly a night to remember. The main reason the shag with this man was so good was because neither of us had any expectations. We just rolled the dice, though it didn't exactly hurt that I found him ridiculously attractive. Amara, he was just there for the he was there for the bang. He was gonna leave you anyway. Amara, he was gonna leave you anyway. However, there are some common pitfalls of hotel sets that can make it less of a 5-star experience. For experiences like the one with my long-distance hookup, safety is paramount. Had I not told a friend what I was up to and made a point to meet him downstairs in reception before going up to the room, things may have been less enjoyable. One of the most common issues that couples in particular encounter is that they build the fantasy up too much. I get it. You've gone to great lengths to find the perfect room and spent months imagining yourselves tangled up in the sheets, going at it for hours before indulging in some much deserved room service. I've done this too, and it blown up in my face. Continue, Amara. Back in my 20s, a boyfriend and I booked a trip abroad. Yes, checked into the hotel and expected the sex to be mind-blowing. It wasn't. In fact, it was an absolute shambles. The pressure to have incredible sex took the fun out of the experience and left us both feeling stressed, which in turn impacted the outcome. Similarly, many people will overplan their hotel stay by getting an extravagant package of rose petals, champagne, etc., which makes the situation even more loaded. There's nothing wrong with being prepared or going the extra mile for yourself and a partner, of course, but if you ask me, it's usually easier to go with the flow. When you really think about it, there are already many factors that impact how we feel about sex. That doesn't go away just because we're traveling. To be honest, I argue there's even more to consider. Maybe you're feeling anxious from a lengthy flight, or perhaps you overindulge yourself at dinner and feel a bit bloated. Whatever your reasons, it's important you don't force the fantasy just because you're staying somewhere fancy. In my humble opinion, having sex in a hotel can be everything that we fantasize about, but it's best when events are a bit more spontaneous. If you focus on having fun, the rest will follow. Just try not to get lost in the corridors. So, what have we learned so far about Amara? She is a serial neighbor shagger. Yes, she shags her neighbors. She's a proud slut, and she shags Scottish men who wanders around stark naked in hotel corridors. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Jesus, Mary and Joseph.